Hello all. Welcome to Komli Ma'am online classes. Today, how exam is completed. I'm really appreciating the students who are continuously writing the examination without telling the reasons. Keep it up. Apart from the marks, what you are scoring, the way you are attempting the exam is really, really good. And the marks also, I'm observing the students. There is a lot of improvement in your marks. Keep it up. And today in today's session I'm going to teach you p block boron family continuation. Yesterday I taught you different compounds of a boron, and coming to that, in today's session I'm going to teach you some other compounds about the boron. These reactions gives you a clear clarity that, see, when you are studying from an higher standard books about these reactions, you will be having a different doubts that which reaction I have to remember, which reaction I have to study, this reaction how it will be formed. But now whatever I'm teaching, that reaction, just go through that, how it is formed, how this product is formed. And if you write those reactions in your running notes, when you go to the examination, just revise the running notes and go and see your paper, how nicely you write your exam and you come. But if you revise today and you leave it for a month together, you won't remember anything. So what you have to do is, again, after 1 month, one time, you have to give a revision course coming to the end. That's why I'm telling you, suppose PS block is completed, you completed your examination. Again, whenever you're in your timetable S block, you mentioned during a revision, that time again you have to revise one time. If you revise it frequently, then the number of hours it will be reduced. Ma'am, NEET exam is on August 1st. Let us start the session, today's session. Put the heading, all of you. Put the heading. Actually, yesterday we are discussing about a borax, right? So NEET exam is on August 1st. So all your doubts are happy. I think many of you are happy. Yes, let us start the session. So it may postpone, but there is no chance of preponement, right? So August 1st is, if you keep in a mind, it may or it may not. See here, this is H3BO3. H3BO3, draw the structure, all of you. H3BO3, draw the structure. See, this is a boron. This is oxygen, hydrogen. This is oxygen, hydrogen. This is oxygen, hydrogen. So around a boron, how many oxygen and hydrogens will be there? 3 OHs. One OH here and one OH here, and here one OH here. So there are 3 OHs around the boron. What is that? There are 3 OHs around the boron. First, draw like that. What is the name of the structure? What is the name of the structure? Boric acid, H3BO3. Now, what I want to show you is, this is one boric acid. See, boron, oxygen, hydrogen. Boron, oxygen, hydrogen. This is another OH. Now, this BOH thrice, if you observe, it is in hydrogen bonding with another BOH thrice. Actually, this is another BOH thrice. I'm not showing you here. See, this is another BOH thrice. Are you following? BOH, OH, OH. Simply I'm drawing. Again here BOH, OH. Here suppose this is what BOH, right? It should be. So here O I'll put. OH, another B is there. It is a repeated hydrogen bonding is possible. In BO, I want to show you that. In BOH thrice, hydrogen bonding will be present. Whenever hydrogen bonding is present, due to that hydrogen bonding, H3BO3 exists in solid form. All of you are following? H3BO3 exists in solid form. Is that clear? Is that clear? Completed? Completed. Very good. Very good. Now let us see here some more important anions. When you are studying, right, you miss few concepts because now if you study in NCERT in a systematic manner and you go that, and some important points will be missed and you will be lagging like which one I have to study, from where I have to study. No need to study anything in chemistry. Just for inorganic, what I'm giving you, that is sufficient. Directly you can solve the questions. BO3 minus 3, that H3BO3, what I am what I showed in a previous screen, that is if it lose those 3 H plus ions, then it forms this borate ion. Say all of you, what is the name of this ion? Borate ion. BO3 minus 3. What is that? BO3 minus 3. This is a boron. This is oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. And what is the charge? 3 minus or minus 3. BO3 minus 3. All right. Now this BO3 minus 3, how it exists? This BO3 minus 3, see here, BO3 minus 3, this is BO3. O3, right? So, 1, BO3. See, this is B and O3. Again, this is a BO3. This is one oxygen, another oxygen, another oxygen. Again, this is a boron, oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. So, it exists as an tri-state. This is called as a triborate. What is this? This is a triborate. If someone asks you a question, how many BB bonds are present in a triborate? How many? What is that? How many BB? Message me your answer. How many BB bonds are present in a triborate? Fast. How many BB bonds are present in a triborate? Very good. Very good. There is no BB bond. 0 BB bonds. There is no BB bond. Very good. Here B, oxygen B. There is no BB bond. Now the next question is, how many BOB bonds are present in a triborate? Your time starts now. What is the question? How many BOB bonds are present in a triborate? Fast. Every one of you has to involve. See, the first day, how much interest we show, the last day, up to the last day, we should show the same interest. Fast. P block only, no. I know, ma'am. P block is very... If I ask one question, how many type BOB bonds are present? Where is this question, ma'am? From where it is present? Yes, clear, everybody? Is it clear? Very good. Now see the next one. See the next one. This is a triboric acid. I mean to say that this is a boric acid. This boron, around a boron, how many OHs are present around a boron? 3 OHs are present around a boron. If there is a lot, you see, this is one boric acid and this is another boric acid. I'm sorry. BOH. One boric acid, this is another boric acid. There is a loss of water. This OH and this H both together goes out as an H2O. When both together goes out as an H2O, then what kind of product you will be getting? Here BOH, and then O. See, this one you can write here also, but I am drawing the structure. I did not get a space, so I drew it down. Just you can draw now next year only. What is this? This is called as a pyroboric acid. What is that? Pyroboric acid. Pyroboric. Why it is called as a pyroboric acid? Because this is the acid which is formed from a this is the structure which is formed from a boric acid. That's why it is called as a pyroboric acid. Is it clear? Is it clear? Pyroboric acid. Then what you have to do is just to remove all the 4 ions. What all the 4 H plus ions. Gautam, are you following? Remove all the 4 H plus ions. This hydrogen you remove, this hydrogen you remove, this hydrogen you remove, and 1 second. Recording, right? This hydrogen you remove and this hydrogen you remove, then what happens? Whenever you remove this, all this, you get an ion that is called as an pyroborate ion. What is the name of the ion? Pyroborate ion. I will ask you one day, what is the formula of Tinkle? What is the formula of Colemanite? What is the anion of borax? What is an anion of borax? How many BOB bonds are there? How many BB bonds are present? What is the hybridization of boron in boric acid? All these questions I will ask you. I don't know which student I will ask frequently. A few names I will call and I'll ask you. So be ready. Tomorrow or a DF means Tuesday or Wednesday I will ask you. See here, this is called as this is the borax anion of borax. Do you remember the structure of a borax? 4 boron you have to write, and in between 4 borons, 4 oxygens you have to draw, and in middle boron and 1 boron you have to connect with oxygen. See what I told you, the structure of borax. B, any structure you can draw, B, 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 your wish. Then connect, because they don't ask you to draw. In a NEET examination or a JEE, they don't ask you to draw. They ask you how many BOB bonds are present. This is what B4O5 unit. And what I told you, just you connect 4 oxygen OH groups to the boron. That's it. What you have to do, just to connect 4 OH groups to the boron. And here boron is forming 4 bonds, just put minus. Boron is forming a 4 bonds, so just put minus. Are you able to understand what I'm teaching you? Right. See this borax anion, if you just add a water, then it forms two molecules, 2 compounds. One is BOH thrice, another one is BOH 4 minus. So this acts as a buffer solution. Borax in a water, it acts as a buffer solution. Why it acts as a buffer solution? Because borax, when you dissolve in water, it is forming a weak acid, and this is a conjugate base of weak acid. This is a conjugate base. Conjugate base of weak acid. One is a weak acid, another one is a conjugate base of a weak acid. I will teach you in a class 12, in a class 11, I taught you, right, already. Ionic equilibrium chapter. Do you know what is a conjugate base? The one which is formed after accepting OH minus ion. That is called as a conjugate base of a weak acid. So here we have a strong weak acid and it's a salt we have. What is that? We have a weak acid and a salt of weak acid we have. So both these together we call it as a buffer, which acts as a buffer solution. Do you remember what is a buffer solution? Do you remember what is a buffer? What is a buffer solution? Buffer solution is the one which resists the pH. If you add an acid or you add a base, there is no change in a pH of a solution. That solution is called as a which solution? Buffer solution. Very good. So this borax acts as a buffer solution. Why it acts as a buffer solution? Because it is having a weak acid and it is having a salt of conjugate base of a weak acid. Is it clear? Is it clear, everybody? Hey. Now see here, I want to tell you a special test which you, if you are in a class 12 or a repeater, you know this one most famously, that borax B test. What is the test? Borax B test, one of the famous test. Put the heading, action of heat. Action of heat. Action of heat. Action of heat. Borax B test. Borax B test. Let us see what is this borax B test. How can we do this borax B test in a laboratory? How can we do this borax B test in a laboratory? Put the heading, all of you, action of heat, borax B test. What is this borax B test? What is the formula of, borax? Do you remember the formula for borax? What is the formula? Repeat, everybody along with me. Na2B4O7 10H2O. If anyone asks you, maybe borax formula, you will say without thinking, I think. Many times I repeated Na2B4O7 10H2O. When you take a borax and when you started heating, then what happens, then it converts into sodium metaborate and boric anhydride. Again I'm repeating, whenever we are heating, when you are heating this borax, then we will be getting sodium metaborate and boric anhydride. So this together we call it as a glassy bead, because it is a kind of bead like structure it will be having. That's why we call it as a glassy bead. Which is a glassy bead? Sodium metaborate together boron trioxide, which is also known as boric anhydride. Do you remember why I'm telling it as a boric anhydride? Because it is formed from boric acid. Boric acid, 2 molecules if you take, and if you remove the boric acid, 4 molecules you take, and if you remove the water molecules from that, then you will be getting this boron trioxide. Sodium metaborate and boron trioxide together we call it as in this glassy bead. Then what is the use of this glassy bead? Take this glassy bead and just mix with the copper salt, any copper salt, and just to heat it. Then what happens is it gives a blue color flame. What will give a blue color flame is copper and cobalt gives a blue color flame, and iron and chromium gives a green color. What is that? This cobalt, whatever the cobalt borate or copper borate or iron borate or chromium borate, these gives a colors. Based upon the colors, we identify what kind of metal is present. Again, I'm repeating, based upon a color, we identify what kind of metal is present. So in such a way, by using a borax bead test, we can identify the kind of metal. Is it clear, everybody? You have to remember this reaction. So borax on heating, we get a glassy bead. What is the formula of a glassy bead? Sodium metaborate plus boric anhydride, NaBO2 plus B2O3. Clear, everybody? Very good. Now let us see here. If you observe in a nature, BF3 is a possible. You can see BF3 structure, but you cannot see BH3 structure. Why? BF3 is a possible, whereas BH3 is not possible? Can any one of you who already know this boron family, who already studied one time boron family, can you tell me one time, can you recollect and can you try why BF3 is a possible, why not BH3? Very good. First answer is Dishu Singh, no back bonding. Correct answer. Soumita Shri, it is electron deficient. Which is electron deficient? See, in a BF3 and BH3, if you observe, this is a BF3, this is a fluorine, this is a fluorine, this is a fluorine. And this is a boron, this is a hydrogen, this is a hydrogen, this is a hydrogen. So in this case also it is having a 6 electrons. In this case also it is having, no need to write all this. I hope you are writing here. I'm right? Listening? Huh? Okay. This is the boron. Around boron, how many fluorines are present? 3 fluorines are present. And here 3 hydrogens are present. Each bond is having how many electrons? Each bond is having a 2 electrons. So 3 bonds, 3 twos are 6 electrons. Here also 6 electrons and here also 6 electrons. Then what is the difference? Why BF3 can able to form? Why not BH3? Because here fluorine is having an electrons as a lone pairs are present. If you see its electronic configuration. So this fluorine tells a boron, you don't worry, I am there. I will give electrons to you. See, even fluorine also gets a stability by donating, but whereas hydrogen, it cannot donate. To even to get the stability also it cannot donate. But fluorine, even it has a lone pair and boron is vacant, so fluorine donates its electrons like this, so that back bonding is possible. What do you mean by back bonding? Back bonding means giving electrons back. It is sharing electrons with the boron, but again giving electrons back to the boron. That's why back bonding we say. Due to the back bonding, BF3 is getting a stability, but BH3 is not stable because it is not getting electrons from a hydrogen. Hydrogen is not having electrons. Are you following, everybody? Hydrogen have only one electron. So write 1 point. BH3 is not formed. BH3 is not formed. BH3 is not formed as because P pi back bonding is not possible. Because P pi back bonding is not possible. P pi back bonding is not possible. P pi back bonding is not possible. Write the next point. Where are you, Hemalakshmi? Hi, Hemalakshmi. Where are you? Okay, message me. So it exists in forms of a dimer. What is that? It exists in a form of, that's why you don't see BH3, but you see B2H6. You don't see BH3, but what you see here, B2H6. What is that B2H6? It is a dimer. Avinash, following. This is a BH3. Then it's a dimer is B2H6. What is that? B2H6. It is a dimer. Once it forms a dimer, it gets the stability. Let us see about a boranes. This boron compounds, we call it as a borane. What is a borane? See, boron hydride is nothing but boron combined with the hydrogen, and we call it as a boron hydride. Again, I'm repeating, my dear students, what is a boron hydride? Boron reacts with a hydrogen and we call it as a boron hydride. It is going into your mind, right? You're understanding, right? Yes. What is this boron hydride? We also call it as a boranes. Where is this? Yeah, this is called what? This is called as a what? Borane. This is, what is this? A borane? Borane is nothing but boron hydride, only call it as a borane. This usually 4 classification is there, but as per your syllabus, you study 2. One is BnHn plus 4 and BnHn plus 6. Like, the formula, right? Alkane, alkene, alkane. So for example, CnH2n plus 2. CnH2n. Like that, you study the formula. In the same way, for a borane also, we have a formula. BnHn plus 4, BnHn plus 6. What is this BnHn plus 4? If any boron is there, for example, I have B4H8. Okay, then I'll ask you, B4H8 comes under which kind of borane? Then immediately you should answer nidoborane. Why? How I'm telling it comes under nidoborane? Because N value is a 4 and 4, if I substitute here, 4 plus 4, it is 8. That's why it comes under nidoborane. For example, if it is 4 and instead of that, if I write B4H10, then it comes under which kind of borane? If I ask you, you have to answer it is an hydroborane, which is also known as arachnoborane. Again, shall I repeat? Which is known as a hydroborane or which is also known as a arachnoborane. Clear, everybody? Cleared is a clear. Very good. Boranes, how many types you are studying here? Nidoborane, arachnoborane. Nidoborane, arachnoborane. Is it clear? Is it clear? Very good. Very good. Now let us see some important methods of preparation of a diborane. Put the heading, all of you. Methods of preparation of diborane. Methods of preparation of diborane. Put the heading. Methods of preparation of diborane. Methods of preparation of diborane. Methods of preparation of diborin. Very good. Now, see here, BF3 is, if you add this lithium aluminum hydrate to the BF3, then what happens is, see, BF3 boron trifluoride. Around a boron, how many fluorines are present? Around boron, 3 fluorines are present. Whenever you add lithium aluminum hydride, lithium aluminum hydride is a good reducing agent. It gives hydride ion. What it gives? Hydride ion. What is the function of this hydride ion? This hydride ion go and replace a fluorine. Put 100% concentration during a class. Don't deviate anything. See here, see towards me and writing. Listening, writing. Only your mind should run only toward these things only. Lithium aluminum hydride, when we are adding, to this boron trifluoride, it donates hydride ion. This hydride ion replace the fluorine. So if it replace all the 3 fluorines, then what can be the product? BH3 is a product. Are you following? But do you know that BH3 is not stable? Immediately it combines with another BH3 and it forms what, my dear students? It forms a dimer, that is called as a diborane. What is it? Diborane is these are electron deficient compounds. These are electron deficient, and you can add iodine also, which is a good reducing agent, to this sodium boron hydride. Then what happens is, this also donates a hydrogen. What to say? This iodine, it reduces this sodium borohydrate and we get a BH3. What we get here? BH3. That BH3 again combines with another BH3, we will be getting a diborane. So we can use sodium borohydrate, we can use lithium aluminum hydrate, even we can use, which is in B2O3 boric anhydride, just to pass hydrogen gas over a aluminum. This combination around 750 degrees Celsius, 750 atm pressure and 150 degrees Celsius, we will be getting a diborane. So what you have to do is, unless you take a paper and pen and you repeatedly practice 3 to 4 times this reactions, you cannot remember the products. Okay, don't try writing of a product by one time. And suppose today you are listening a class and after 10 days when you open a book, no, I have to remember all this without without seeing a book, means it is not at all possible. Why I'm telling you? Because when you are preparing, maybe you prepared last year, or when you are preparing, you sometimes you feel demotivated, right? Because of why I'm not getting, why some students are scoring high marks, why I'm not. Only a practice gives you a best result. There is a lot of difference between one time practice, 2 time practice, and 3 time practice. Class 12 students and long term students, see, you came to know the exam date also now. No, there is no doubts at all, right? So April, May, June, July, these 4 months you have in your hand. You leave a July for your revision, because revision is most important. Then these 3 months from today, you make your plan, like you should not get a time to see your face in a mirror. In such a way you have to put your effort, in such a way you have to work out. If you start your work like that, others should feel that, why you are working like this for getting a neat rank, you're dying like this, why you will die or what? You should not feel hungry also in such a way. I'm not telling you that you don't eat anything. Kamali ma'am, we eat nicely. We are telling us not to eat any. I am not insisting you not to eat anything. I am telling you, when you are working in such a, put a target today. And one more thing, you don't put a big target. All today, 2 chapters chemistry, 2 chapters physics, 2 chapters biology, that's it. You will fail within 2 days. From a third day, nothing you read. All this and all waste, ma'am. Full busy schedule, ma'am. I'm not getting. Hey, shut your mouth. Why busy schedule? Oh my God, Komali ma'am used a bad word first time. Why? I get angry. No, the busy schedule, don't tell that, because this is your responsibility. You have to plan properly this 3 or 4 months and start working out. If you are in a class 12 students, it is the most crucial time for you, because it is like an one side board exam, one side NEET exam. Repeat, long term students are happy, I can say that. This is, if now also you are telling some reason, then it is up to you. But class 12 students, you have a board exam one side, all syllabus you have to revise, and you have to prepare for your NEET examination. This is a real time. You give your 100%. Don't see back and don't worry whether I can get or not. Truly to say, when compared to the long term, you only can get a good score because you are in touch with NCERT and you are in touch with the syllabus, and you will be, all concepts in will it will be in your mind. But coming to the long term students, they forgot the concepts because 1 year over, right? So they have to revise. But class 12 is not like that. Fresh mind is yours, so there are lots of chances you can score highest mark. And class 11, happy life. Class 11 students, happy life, no? The boron trioxide, when you are treating with a hydrogen and aluminum, cool life, class 11. But if you are so cool, no, later you should become see, this boron trioxide, when you react with a hydrogen and aluminum, you will be getting a diborane. This is also one of the method of preparation. Right, the next method, add sodium hydride. When you are adding a sodium hydride, do you know, in a sodium hydride, which is an hydrogen is in +1 state or -1 state? In NaH, hydrogen is in +1 state or -1 state? Fast. Sodium in NaH, hydrogen is in +1 or -1? Only one student sent +1. Ganesh BA. I think Ganesh yesterday's topper, I think. That Ganesh only answered now +1. Huh? No, another Ganesh. See here, BF3, when you are treating with a sodium hydride, then what you will be getting? You will be getting a diborane. Why? Because this here sodium hydride, hydrogen is in -1. All the 3 fluorines, this hydrogen goes and replace, and we get a BH3. Now this BH3 reacts with another BH3 and it will be forming a B2H6. Everybody is clear how we are getting a B2H6? And in the same way, if you heat around, in an electric discharge, it is a glass equipment in presence of a gas like a hydrogen. If you heat around a high temperature, then all the 3 chlorines are replaced by all the 3 hydrogens and it forms a BH3, and this BH3 combines with another BH3 and it forms a diborane. Everybody clear how diborane will be formed? Very good, very good. Now put the heading structure of diborane. Put the heading structure of diborane. And I'm telling now, this put this target, that target, so don't feel pressurized. Ma'am, I have to read that and this, and I will sit and read at home and I won't listen. No, don't leave me until your exam. Don't leave me until you see your name in a rank list. Okay, I have to study so much, ma'am. That initiation will be there only 2 to 3 days. That's it. After that, you lose the motivation. So definitely guidance is needed. When you listen, that at least 10% it will be inculcated in your mind. See, in this case, this is a diborane structure. It is like nice rangoli I drew, right? Let me explain you how it will be formed. Okay, step by step, let me explain you structure of diborane. This is a boron and this is another boron, and here it is having a three electrons in a valence shell. How many for example, 1 2 3 I'm drawing. Again, I'm going to draw like this: 1 2 3. What is that? 1 2 3. Here 3 electrons and here 3 electrons. Why I'm drawing like this? Because boron is having 3 electrons in a valence shell. Fine. And then hydrogen comes. Hydrogen says, okay, boron, you have a 3 electrons, but I have only 1 electron, but we are 3 friends. So hydrogen comes and hydrogen give 1 electron, and another hydrogen comes, hydrogen gives 1 electron, and another hydrogen comes, it gives an electron. Another hydrogen comes, it gives an electron. Are you following how hydrogen gives an electron? Boron has 3 electrons and hydrogen is having only 1 electron. So hydrogen give that electron. Why I'm writing 1 electron of boron is a dot, another one is a cross. Why like that? One is a dot, another one is a cross. In boron, electrons in the form of a dot, and in hydrogen, electron in the form of a cross. Then then why message me? Do you know this toughest question? Do you know this toughest question answer? Why one electron is in dot, another one is a cross? Ma'am, one is girl, ma'am, another one is boy, ma'am. No, right? One electron, girl electron, ma'am, boy electron, ma'am. No, no. Then what? Then what is the difference? To distinguish, very good, to differentiate it. Just to identify, one electron is boron electron, another electron is hydrogen electron. Right, fine. You came to know that. Next, another hydrogen is the total 4 hydrogens. I am showing you terminal. These are terminal. Hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. Now, another 2 electrons, I'll show like this. Different color I use, okay? This is an hydrogen and this is another hydrogen. So it donates 1 electron and it donates another electron. Why it is donating like this? Because it is having only 1 electron. It don't know that to which boron it has to give. Starting it will be in a confusion. Oh, I have only 1 electron, but here 2 borons are there. So which boron I have to give my electron? So sometime it will think. Okay, it thinks and then it decide, okay, it's fine. I give my electron to the boron which is not having an electron so that it gets somewhat a stability. Then this hydrogen give its electron to this boron, and again this hydrogen gives electron to this boron because it is not having any electron over here. So these 2 electrons combine and form 1 bond, and these 2 electrons combine 1 bond, and this is 1 bond and this is 1 bond. These are terminal bonds. What are these terminal bonds? If you observe here, how many terminal hydrogens are present, my dear students? How many? They ask you the question, how many terminal hydrogens are present? Terminal hydrogens are how many? 4 terminal hydrogens. And if you observe here, how many bridged hydrogens? 1 and 1. Total how many bridged hydrogens? Total bridged hydrogens are 2. Are you able to understand how many bridged hydrogens are present? 2 bridged hydrogens are present. Fine. And coming here, this boron is having a 3 electrons. This over, right? See here, this boron, this hydrogen, sorry, boron, hydrogen, and boron. These 3, it forms a bond like this. Okay. And another one, okay, this is one way of representation. Another way of representation is simply we can represent like this also. One like this. You no need to draw all this, okay? Just for your understanding. This is called as banana bond. The shape is like a banana. That's why they have given simply students. If you put the name which is related to that so that they can remember easily, they kept the name banana. And how many banana bonds are present in a diborane? How many banana bonds are present? 2 banana bonds are present in a diborane. Is it clear, everybody? And the question is, if you observe, here, how many 2 electron bonds are present and how many 1 electron bonds are present? My question is, how many 2 electron bonds are present and how many 1 electron bonds are present? Just count and tell me. 1 electron bonds how many? 2 electron bonds how many? Very good, very good. 4, 4, 4 is to 4. Why? Because here all the terminal bonds which are present here, this is 2 electron bond, and this is 2 electron bond, 2 electron, 2 electron. These are 2 electrons. And 1 electron bond, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is a 1 electron bond. Is it clear? Now, the question is, I'm going to take its length as, for example, terminal bond length as L1 and bridge bond length is L2. What is that? What I'm going to take? I'm giving two lengths. One length is the length between boron and hydrogen of a terminal bond, and another length is boron and hydrogen of a bridged bond. Now the question is L1 and L2, which one's length is more? And another question is, if I take the bond angle between the two terminal hydrogens is the theta 1, and the bond angle between the two bridged hydrogens and boron is a theta 2. Are you able to understand what I'm asking you? One is in L1, L2, another one is a theta 1 and theta 2. Now my question is, which is the more? L1 is more or L2 is more? Or theta 1 is more or theta 2 is a more? That is the question. Can you try anyone? L1 is more or L2 is more? No, 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 no. Not this slide. This slide only. L1 is more or L2 is more? Just to guess, just to try. If wrong also, no problem. I'll guide you. Only try. NEET exam only I'll try, ma'am, questions. Why not in a class regular question? Huh? You don't try a NEET exam, right? You try like that, either A or a B. 4 options only, no? 4 options only. A, B, C, D. That's it. Entire life depends on A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. If you know, it's enough. A, B, C, D. L1 is more than L2, it seems. L1 is more than L2, it seems. Why? L1 is more than L2. L2 is more than L1. Why? Why? What is the reason? What is the reason? If you can see here, L2 is more than L1. Why? Because whatever your more electrons is there means what happens? Bond length increases? No. More is the electron means, they shade more number of electrons. What is that? They shade more number of electrons. Once they shade more number of electrons, the bond length decreases. What happens? Bond length decreases. Whenever, only one electron is there in a bridged hydrogen, bond length is more. Their bond length is more. In a terminal hydrogen case, bond length is more. In a bridged hydrogen case, bond length is more. In the terminal hydrogen case, bond length is less. Are you following? And coming to the repulsions, what happens? If you observe theta 1 and theta 2, theta 1 is more than the theta 2. Why? Because this bond is formed by 2 electron, so that more electrons repulsions will be generated. More is the electrons, repulsions will be generated. That's why theta 1 is greater than theta 2. But whereas in case of bridged hydrogen, they are formed by only, I'm sorry, they are formed only by single electron. That's why there is a more gap between these two, and theta 2 is less value. Theta here, I want to say that here repulsions is less and here repulsions is more. You don't see the gap present here while drawing the structure. In this case, two electron repulsions are more. That's why theta 1 is more than the theta 2. Is it clear, everybody? L1, L2 is greater than L1, theta 1, theta 2, theta 1 is greater than. This is the differentiation between you. I mean to say that these are the some logical key points where when you study only certain fixed books, you will miss these points. Is it clear, everybody? These are the rank deciding questions. Copied, everyone? Copied? Very good. Very good. let us see here some other questions what they can ask you from a diborane. They can ask you what is the hybridization of a boron in a diborane. You all know that if boron is there, BH3, around boron how many bonds are present? Can you answer me? Around a boron 3 bonds. If 3 bonds are present, what is the hybridization of a boron in a BH3? Can you answer me? What is the hybridization of boron in a BH3? Try it out. Fast. Very good. sp2 is in hybridization. But when a boron is surrounded by 4 bonds like this, what is the hybridization now? Tell me. Hybridization is sp3. Number of bonded atoms are 4. Number of lone pairs, they ask you, how many lone pairs are present in a diborane? You will put 1 or 2. No, there is no lone pairs in a diborane. 0 lone pair. There is no lone pair. What is the hybridization of a boron in a diborane? Diborane, it is sp3 hybridization. Is it clear, everybody? And I want to tell you one more a crucial and important point, that is whenever you are treating with this diborane with any halogen or any alcohol, or you're doing some reaction, then what happens is you have two choices. One is you have to replace terminal hydrogen, another one is you have to replace the bridged hydrogen. Then which one you can replace? One is, suppose you have to replace it, so you can replace this hydrogen, or why ma'am only 4 you are showing? Actually another unit also there like this. Okay, I want to tell you the hybridization of boron in diborane. That's why I have taken only that part. Are you following? Are you following? And see, now the question is, you have this hydrogen and you have this hydrogen. Then which hydrogen you can replace easily? Terminal hydrogen can be replaced very easily. Why only terminal hydrogen you can replace very easily? Because the bridged hydrogen is connected by 2 boron atoms. That's why you cannot replace that bridged hydrogen. But whereas a terminal hydrogens which are free, so you can remove easily. Then what happens? Copied these points, everybody? Copied? Shall I go to the next point? Shall I go to the next point? See here. See here. This is not this. One second, you wait. I'll show you a reaction. Yeah, correct. See here, this reaction you see, I'm taking a diborane and I'm treating with a HCl. Whenever I'm treating with HCl, one of the hydrogen is replaces this this chlorine replace this hydrogen, and we will be getting B2H6. I'm removing one hydrogen and I'm keeping a chlorine here. Are you following? So I'll get B2H5Cl. The question is, which hydrogen you are removing? You are removing this central hydrogen or a terminal hydrogen? You are removing the terminal hydrogen. That is a concept. Understand why terminal hydrogen replacement is very easy. Terminal hydrogen replacement is very easy. And coming to the diborane, some other parts of question they can ask you like this. They can ask you, this is actually a diborane structure, and if you observe its structure, this bond, if you take BT bond, H and T represents a terminal, little down only, right? HT. Hydrogen's terminal, and this is a boron. How many hydrogen terminal bonds are present? 4. And this bond is called 2-centered 2-electron bond. What is that? It is a 2-centered 2-electron bond. Why it is called as a 2-centered 2-electron bond? Do you know that? Because boron is a 1 center, hydrogen is another center, and this bond contains 2 electrons. That's why Two-center, two-electron bond. What is that, my dear students? It is called two-center, two-electron bond. Like that, how many two-center, two-electron bonds are present? 4. You can say that 2 atoms, 2 electron and 2 centers. So that's why it is called as a two-center, two-electron bond. There are total 4. And coming to this, BHBB. What is this? A B little down only, right? So this is what? Bridged hydrogen. What is this? This is a bridged hydrogen. How many are there? 3 atoms are present. 1, 2, 3. 3 atoms. 3 atoms are having a 2 electrons. Or you can say 3 centers. 1, 2, 3. 3 centers also having a 2 electrons. 2 atoms are having a 2 electrons and 3 centers are also having a 2 electrons. You can say that 3-centered 2 electron bond or a 3 atom. Each atom we consider as a center. Again, I'm repeating, each atom we consider as a center and we will be having a 3-centered 2 electron bond. Why it is called as a 3-centered? Boron 1 center, hydrogen 1 center, boron 1 center. This is a banana bond. This is a banana bond. For example, ma'am, this is what? This is one hydrogen and this is one electron, this is another electron. So you dot na 1 electron. So this is what? 3 centers, 1, 2, 3 and 2 electrons, A, B, 2 electrons. So 3-centered 2 electron bond. How many 3-centered 2 electron bonds are present? They ask you question. How many 3-centered 2 electron bonds will be present? 2 will be present. Is it clear, everybody? Is it clear? Good. Now put the heading, properties of diborane. Properties of diborane. Properties of diborane. What are the properties of diborane? Write all the points step by step. It is the colorless gas. Note it down, the properties of a diborane, my dear students. It is a colorless gas. It is a colorless gas. Very good. It is a colorless gas. Very good. Write the second point. Write the second point. Highly reactive. Highly reactive. First point is it is a colorless gas. Second point is highly reactive. And write the continuation. It catches the fire spontaneously. So diborane is a good fuel. It catches the fire. If you put a fire, it catches immediately. It catches the fire immediately. Write the third point. Write the third point. Diborane, when you are making it to react with the oxygen, then actually when you are making it to react with the air, it burns immediately. It is a highly exothermic reaction. It is a which reaction? What do you mean by exothermic reaction? It gives energy out or it absorbs energy? Message your answer. Exothermic means it gives energy out or it absorbs the energy. Fast. Exothermic means it gives energy out or it absorbs energy. Super. Super. Exothermic means it gives energy out. Whenever it is giving energy out, due to this particular nature, we use a diborane as in rocket fuel. What is this, a rocket fuel? In a rocket, you know, if you see that energy is required, energy is so much, it burn, right? With that energy only it can go up. To go up, to get that energy, we use a fuel as a diborane as a fuel in a rockets. So why only diborane? Because per 1 gram, whatever the energy it releases, it is very high. Then what is the advantage? If you carry some coal to get the energy, more coal you have to carry and less energy you get. But whereas a diborane, it is a less grams you carry and it gives a more amount of energy. That is the reason energy related per gram is very high. That's why we use a diborane as a rocket fuel. everybody following why we use the diborane as a rocket fuel? Because of its high energy. Because of its high energy. Is that clear? And write the next point. When you are treating diborane, when you are heating a diborane, then immediately it dissociates into boron and it releases hydrogen gas. It dissociates into boron and it releases hydrogen gas. It releases hydrogen gas. Clear? Finished? Finished? Right. Now what you do is just add some water molecules to the diborane. Whenever you are adding water to the diborane, then how to write a formula? Means how to write a product. You will be in a difficulty, right? Actually diborane H2O, how I should remember this BOH thrice and all. The simple logic is just to break this diborane, as always see diborane as a twice of BH3. In your, when you are writing, you write B2H6, but in your mind it should be there that this diborane is a combination of two BH3 units. So remove those 3 hydrogens with the 3 OHs. What do you have to do? Remove the 3 hydrogens with the 3 OHs of H2O. Then what you will be getting? You will be getting a boric acid. Not only this, take an alcohol, remove the 3 hydrogens with the 3 OR groups. What you have to do? Remove the 3 hydrogens with the 3 OR groups. Then you will be getting BOR thrice. This is what? Boron, alkoxy halide. I mean, alkoxyboride. See, this is a boric acid. In such a way, we can replace all the 3 hydrogens of a boron and diborane. I mean to say BH3, which is present, which is a unit of B2H6, and we get the product. So when you are doing some reaction, what you have to do? You have to keep BH3 unit in your mind so that you can get your product easily. Clear, everybody? Clear? Clear? Very good. Now let us see the next reaction. Next reaction, when you are adding HCl, what I told you, 1 hydrogen, 1 replaced by 1 chlorine. But which hydrogen is replaced? That is a most important question. That is a terminal. Easy, very, very easy. Chlorine. See, sometimes when you read a question, right, you won't feel the exact reason, but you will come to know the answer and you will mark and come. That also will happen. See, when you are reading thoroughly, running notes and all, then that time when you are seeing a question but you don't know exact answer, but you will come to know, yes, this might be the answer. Your sixth sense will tell you this can be the answer. See, diborane, when you are treating with a sodium, then you will be getting 2 products. These are 2 are little higher, standard. If you go sodium borohydrate and polyborane. What is this, a polyborane? Polyborane is sodium polyborane. Na-B3H5. This is having a polyborane anion. What it will be having? Polyborane anion. What is this polyborane anion? B3H5 minus. What is that? B3H5 minus. And another method of preparation is diborane is diborane treat with NaH and you will be getting sodium borohydride. This is also one of the method, means of this is also one of the reaction chemical property of a diborane. Chemical property of a diborane. These are the different chemical properties of a diborane. Copied all of you? No? Writing? Okay, right. Finished? So fast? So fast? Very good. Write the reaction with the halogens. Write the reaction with the halogens. If 1 chlorine, if you add, what is the reaction? If 3 chlorines, if you add, what is the reaction? Again, I'm repeating all of you. Pay attention. 100% focus here. See only towards me and a screen. That's it. What you have to do? What you have to do? Add chlorine to diborane. When you are adding a chlorine to the diborane, then what happens? 1 chlorine can replace 1 hydrogen and it goes goes out as a HCl and we get a product. Actually, it is B2H6. Then I remove one hydrogen and I put a chlorine. Then I'll be getting B2H5Cl. What is the product? B2H5Cl. Very good. And when we are adding a three chlorines, then what happens? Once we add a one chlorine, you will be getting B2H5Cl. When we add a three chlorines, then what happens is all the three hydrogens is replaced by three chlorines. What is happening, my dear students? All the three hydrogens are replaced by three chlorines. Is it clear? There are two reactions. These two reactions, you should remember the difference. One chlorine, 1 mole of chlorine, B2H5Cl is a product. If 3 moles of a chlorine, BCl3 is the product. Are you understanding the difference? Are you understanding the difference? Now let us see. And most important, if you are a JE student, 100% important. If you are a NEET student, 98% important. If you are a SET student, important. Very important. Very important. And when you are studying on your own, maybe you feel difficulty of this, but today I'm going to tell you a super tip so that you can write this reaction without any confusions. This preparation becomes very easy. Very easy. Let us see that. When you are adding a diborane, when you take a diborane and when you add this, how to write these products and how to remember this product, how to write and remember. If that is low temperature, if at high temperature, what is the product? If it is in 1:2 ratio, what is the product? You want to know all these things, right? Go and take a short break. After a break, I will explain you remaining things. Take a break. I told you who will take a break. You will say today, take a break. Who will say today, take a break? Raise your hand. No one will say, na? I only should tell. Take a break, all of you. Bye. Welcome back, all of you. See here, that alarm is still ringing. Is it ringing? No, right? uh, Diborane, when you are adding a small amine like a methylamine or ammonia or a dimethylamine, then what happens? When you are adding a smaller amines, what is that, my dear students? When you are adding a smaller amines, then what happens is at a low temperature, when you are doing a reaction, it forms diammoniate. Come back, all of you, time over. Are you here? Very good, very good. Diammoniate. Sharmila, come fast. Roshan. Roshan, are you there? Diammoniate. Diammoniate is your product. And what is this actually, diammoniate? Diammoniate will be having a what? We will see here. We will see here. B2H6NH3, right? See, this is a diborane. Yeah, here you can see. Here you can see. This is a diborane. Diborane splitting takes place in such a way. How a splitting takes place? This is called as an unsymmetrical cleavage. What is this cleavage? This is called unsymmetrical cleavage. What do you mean by unsymmetrical cleavage? Actually, it is a BH3, BH3. This is one BH3 and this is another BH3. If it splits exactly as a BH3 plus and BH3 minus, then it is a symmetrical cleavage. But here, unsymmetrical cleavage takes place. What do you mean by this unsymmetrical cleavage? Is dissociation will be like this. Then you will be having a boron at a center and 4 hydrogens. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it gets a negative charge. This part gets a negative charge, and here boron with the 2 hydrogens is left. And now whatever 2 ammonia molecules you are adding, those 2 ammonia molecules comes and it donates its electron density over here. These 2 ammonias come and donate. So I want to say that this is a diborane. This is a diborane. See, all of you, this is a diborane. When you are adding ammonia at a lower temperatures, then what happens is cleavage will be unsymmetrical. Not one side 2 hydrogens, one side 4 hydrogens. But whereas the case you can see here, the case where you are taking a larger amines. When you are taking a larger amine, what do you mean by larger amine? Larger amine like R3N, like a pyridine. When you are taking these kind of larger amines, then they form, cleavage will be symmetrical. You get a BH3 units. What you will be getting? You will be getting a BH3 units. So smaller amines unsymmetrical cleavage, larger amines symmetrical. One side BH3, another side BH3. Now ammonia comes, ammonia in the sense larger amine, trialkyl amine. It comes and it donates its group. Siley, following? Understanding? Yes, very good. Very good. And this girl, I thought, because I'm thinking from many days, I thought to tell you, first 2 to 3 days, no, 1 week, I thought you won't attend these classes many days. Because by seeing a student, I have some this kind of, hope. I thought that this girl, maybe the trapo may won't suit, because teacher level student should be, or teacher should come to the student level. So when more students are there, I should keep all the students in my mind and I have to take the class, then only I can satisfy. But when the courses like in a this particular duration, this like in every student satisfying, really it is a challenging for a teacher. So but a Siley case, it is like my imagination, she crossed every day, she is following a class. Until many students are maybe following, but this girl is, I did not expect she follow until end, and keep it up. Can you unmute one time? Hi,
Hi,
where are you from?
Goa.
Goa. Oh, nice beach. If you go one time, we should go
Yes.
to beach then with a Siley. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How is your preparation going on?
Good, ma'am.
Are you a class 12 student or long term?
No, ma'am. I am a re-repeater.
Oh, re-repeater. So so much experience of all these toughness of the questions. You know all this diborane cleavage, symmetrical and unsymmetrical cleavage.
Ma'am, I understood what
You
you.
understand. Before you have an idea this one or now only you are learning.
No, ma'am. I have learned it now only with you.
Very good. But are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good girl. Good girl. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Yes. Copied by this time. Huh? Because I'm explaining this point, right? You will be writing this point copied by the time I'm talking to that girl. Very good. See here, when you take an amine, then what happens is symmetrical cleavage. I'm sorry, unsymmetrical cleavage. When you take a larger amine, then symmetrical cleavage. When you are taking ammonia excess, then you get a BNX. I'm sorry, BNX. This is a boron nitride. When you take ammonia excess, when you take 1:2 ratio ammonia and diborane, you will get a boragine, B3N3H6. So total 4 different products I'm discussing with you, because when you are studying these 4 products, you don't see the differentiation. Simply if you go and read, you cannot remember. So in which way you have to study? Low temperature 2 reactions, high temperature 2 reactions. Low temperature, what are those 2 reactions? Low temperature 2 reactions are, one is simple amine, another one is a larger amine. Simple amine unsymmetrical cleavage, larger amine symmetrical cleavage. And coming to the ammonia, excess ammonia, boron nitride is a product, and 1:2 ratio boragine is a product. Everybody clear about the products? Clear? Very good, very good. Now let me go. I will go to the next slide. Copied. See how it is reacted, how it is formed. This is symmetrical cleavage. What do you mean by symmetrical cleavage? Exactly, BH3 one unit, BH3 another unit. To one BH3 unit, that larger amine comes and donate. That one BH3 unit, what happens? Larger amine come and donate. It comes and donate. Very good. Now let us see here. See in this case, this is the case, right? You already copied, no need to. Just same thing, which I explained before. Same thing, no need to write again. So this is one BH3 unit. Now one NR3 comes and donate. Same structure, symmetrical cleavage, same thing I wrote before. So no need to copy again. This is a symmetrical cleavage. Clear, everybody? Yes? Ma'am, completed no class. Class is not completed. That content is completed. I will take another one. Here one small rabbit, na this one. Can you see the screen? Say hello. Ma'am, no hellos and all, ma'am. School time over. Come on, ma'am. Tell ma'am. Hello. Say hello. Hello. You should say hello. Then only you remember all the 4 reactions. Laugh like that. Very good. Hi. Wow, so nice. Welcome to Komalima online classes. Right now, I'm going to explain you regarding the concept like what is this borajol, what is this boragine, or which is also known as, why it is also known as inorganic benzene. What is the formula of this borajol? I'm going to explain you. Keep the heading, all of you. Keep the heading borajol, which is also known as a boragine, and which is also known as inorganic benzene. Which is also known as inorganic benzene. Borajol, boragine, which is also known as inorganic benzene. Write the formula. Write the formula. Let us see the method of preparation. How can we prepare this borazole? How can you do this preparation? Take a boron trichloride and treat with ammonium chloride. Take a boron trichloride and treat with a ammonium chloride. When you are treating with a ammonium chloride, then what you will be getting? You will be getting sodium borohydride. What is your product, my dear students? You will get sodium borohydrate. What is the formula of a sodium borohydrate? B3N3H6. B3N3H6. Students who are there in a crash course of this particular batch, long term or a class 12 students, again when you are listening a second time, all this will be in your mind. If you, any one of you still thinking that whether I can opt for a crash course or not, then your decision, take a good decision. Taking a crash course and attending everyday class, listening a reactions again, it keeps your preparation time, it decreases. Really, it decreases. You are listening first time, right? Boragine formula. When I tell next time, you no need to write the notes. Now you are writing a notes and you're listening, but that time notes will be with you so that you can focus and you can understand the concept. BCl3, when you are treating with ammonia chloride, then what happens? What happens is you will be getting a boragine, which is called, what is the formula for boragine? Repeat along with me. What is the formula of boragine? Hi Varshini, raise your hand. Simply this is what boragine formula, what? B3N3H6. What is this B3N3H6? Boragine. And now what you have to do is add ammonia. When you are adding ammonia here at a high temperature also, you can get a boragine. What you can get? You can get a boragine. Let us see the structure of a boragine. Let us see the structure of a boragine. This is what it is, same structure like that of a benzene. Carbon, 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 carbon. This is the structure. See, same structure, right? This is a benzene. This is a benzene. Now this benzene, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to replace the carbon place with a boron and alternatively with a nitrogen. Observe carefully what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep boron in place of a carbon and I'm going to keep nitrogen in place of a carbon. So alternatively, I'm going to place a boron and a carbon so that I will be getting a borazole, or which is also known as inorganic benzene. Why it is called as an inorganic benzene? Organic benzene is having only carbon. If it contains only carbon, that is called as an organic benzene. But if it has a boron and nitrogen, then it is called as an inorganic benzene. And one more difference is, in organic benzene, the bond is a covalent bond. These bonds are covalent bond. And whereas this bond is a coordinate covalent bond, which is also known as a dative bond. Why? Because dative, see, this is a boron or nitrogen. Your wish, anything you can draw. And here boron, nitrogen, boron, nitrogen. If it is the case, then what happens is nitrogen donates its lone pair to the boron. What is that? Nitrogen donates its lone pair to the boron. So in such a way, pi bond will be formed, dative bond will be formed, which is also known as a coordinate covalent bond. Is it clear, everybody? Coordinate covalent bond. And suppose a question will be like, if you are doing an addition, chlorine you are adding. Okay, so how many products you get in case of benzene and how many products you get in case of borazole? Again, I'm repeating. When you are adding a chlorine, dichloro derivatives has to form. So how many dichloro derivatives you will be getting in a benzene and how many dichloro derivatives, same structures, what I showed just now. No need to draw. Same structures. So how many products you will be getting dichloro derivative in a benzene and how many products you will get in a borazole? See, I'll tell you, when you take only a benzene, so this is a benzene And you can put one chlorine here, one chlorine here, and you can keep one chlorine here and one chlorine here, and you can keep one chlorine here and one chlorine here. So 3 products are possible. Can you guess and tell me how many products are possible in case of borazole? Try. Wow, wrong structure. Can you try how many are possible? How many are possible? Try. I will see who can answer. Try. I will see, because the students who crossed 500, 550 also there in a classroom, they are attending class now. So because their target is, suppose if before year your target is 565, is you reached, now you have to, suppose chemistry 145 or 160 is your previous year score and you are attending class, means obviously you should get 180, that is your target. That time you should not leave any point, single point also. Then who's there 160 score in a class 2020, and now you have to, and all other students also, just to give a try. How many are possibilities? If you put how many, what are the answers? Let me see. 2, 3, so no one answered the question. Let me tell you the correct answer for this. You can keep one chlorine here and one chlorine here. This is one product. Are you following, everybody? And now what I do is one chlorine here, one chlorine here. Both are different, right? Here boron, nitrogen having a chlorine. Same structure. I'm not drawing a structure. You draw, please. Here no space. And boron, one chlorine, boron, another chlorine. I will draw. Again, you say, Komli, I'm only lazy. How can I draw? See, here one chlorine and here one chlorine. Okay. And I'm going to draw one more structure. Just check it out. Can you tell me the possibility? Can you tell me the this is a meta. This is like an ortho. This is now para is possible. Para is possible. And 3. Can you tell me one more structure also possible? What is a kind of structure? One more also possible. One more also possible, that is one nitrogen, one chlorine, another nitrogen, another chlorine. Inside bonds, everything is same as usual. It is as usual. Now total how many dichloro derivatives are possible in a boragine, inorganic benzene? Most crucial important question, rank deciding question, toughest question. But once you know the answer, then it will be easy. One is benzene is 3 products are possible. Boragine is 4 products are possible. Benzene 3 is the answer. Boragine 4 is the answer. Clear, everybody? Clear, everybody? Very good. Very good. Copied? Copied? Yes. Now put the heading. Put the heading boron nitride. I will take 1 or 2 methods of preparation. After that, I will leave you. Otherwise, like yesterday, I will get the call. What? Vivek, happy birthday. Time is getting over, that's why. Oh my God, your mom. Sweet son. Very okay. See, boron nitride. What is this boron nitride? What happens? How can we prepare this boron nitride? Actually, the speciality of a boron nitride is it is very hard substance. Boron nitride, it is very hard. And here, hi, Dakshinya, hi. Raise your hand. Yeah. And when you treat this borax with ammonia chloride, when you treat a borax with a ammonia chloride, what happens? take a borax and treat with ammonia chloride at a high temperature, then you get an boron nitride. Very direct question. The thing is, you have to remember this particular reaction. How you have to, when you study NCERT or when you study in a higher standard books, you feel a difficulty. So when you are writing a running notes, you just differentiate and write. Yes, when I treat borax with ammonia chloride, I get a boron nitride. Okay. When I take diborane and if I treat with ammonia excess, then I get a boron nitride. What I should do? I have to take ammonia excess. Suppose if I take in 1:2 ratio, can you tell me what is the product? Do you remember? 1:2 ratio, what is the product? 4 times I repeated. Diborane and ammonia 1:2 ratio. What is the product? What is the product? Come on fast. Come on fast. Still I has to answer. You have to answer boragine. Very good. Boragine is your answer. So 1:2 ratio, borazine, excess ammonia, boron nitrate, and smaller amines, unsymmetrical cleavage, larger amine symmetrical cleavage. So you get a 4 products. And even when you treat a boron with a nitrogen also, you can get this boron nitrate. Boron nitrate is, its nature is, it is an insulator. Actually, it is also known as it is like an graphite structure. It is having a graphite structure, but graphite is a good conductor of electricity and boron nitrate is an insulator. It is a bad conductor of electricity. What is that? Boragine is having a structure like a benzene, whereas a boron nitrate is having a structure like a graphite, similar structure. I'm going to show you the structure in a tomorrow session. Okay, then what is the difference here? That is a good conductor and it is a bad conductor. Right, the last 2 reactions of today's session. Boron nitride, if you add a water, then what happens? It dissociates into, how it will be dissociated? How it will it dissociate into B plus 3 and N minus 3. When it dissociates like that, then H2O, how it dissociates? H plus and OH minus. So 1 B plus 3 can combine with a 3 OH minus and you can get BOH thrice. And how many H plus are there? And it combines with the 3 hydrogens and it forms a NH3. And boron nitride, if you treat with a fluorine, same way all the 3 OHs is replaced by 3 fluorines. All the 3 nitrogens is replaced by 3 fluorines. Is that clear, everybody? Is it clear? Okay. Finished? Copying. This is today's session. And those who want to join a crash course, you can give your name today, and there is no availability of live session. It is long back, it is completed. Those who are giving your name, that your name is going to be allotted only in a evening batch. And don't message me regarding, ma'am, I need I cannot give a morning batch. It is already overloaded with the strength. If I take a limited only, I can see your name and I can read at least 1 or 2 comments. If it is a more, I cannot. Those who are able to attend evening, if evening is time is sufficient, means that time, if you are free, you can give today or tomorrow your name. Ma'am, product crash course is for 11th. And Tulshan, you are studying 11th, right? 11th is 6 to 7:30. 6 to 7:30, 11th syllabus, and 8 to 9:30, 12th syllabus. But together. Ma'am, product is B2O3 or B2OH thrice. Where B2OH thrice? I wrote anything B2OH thrice or what? Nisha. Where, Nisha? In which case? Here. Here you're asking. Okay, you're asking this or this. Actually, I thought to say that first BOH thrice will be formed. BOH thrice means what? H3 BO3 is a product, H3BO3. Now this H3BO3, further on, if you heat it, because you are heating right here, when you are heating it, when you are heating, can you see? When you are heating, you can't say local. When we are heating, then we will be getting the product here, B2O3 is a product. Clear? Your doubt is, I think that is only your doubt. Correct? Ma'am, I have 2 months plus backlog in physics. How to plan my schedule to join in physics coaching also. Select a best physics coaching and you attend a classes so that you will be having a guidance, right? Shambhavi. Instead of, see, self preparation is good, but you are so motivated and you have that kind of habit, you can. But as a class 12 or self preparation is fine, but a repeater means already one time happened. Now don't take any risk. Ma'am, class 11 students can attend crash course. No, it's not required. You come to class 12, right? Why hurry in to learn entire syllabus in a 3 months? There will be an see 3 month. It is an, they are already, they have a certain idea. At least they know basics. But a class 12 syllabus without knowing a basic and directly if you come, no, not required. You come to the class 12, then you can join. Your Benjin pronunciation is so cute. Is it? Ma'am, where bridge hydrogen will go in a previous reaction? Which bridge hydrogen? Bridge hydrogen will be in a bridge hydrogen only, no? You're asking what? Thank you, Somita. Okay, bye. This is today's session, and in a next session, you are having a next session on a Tuesday. What you do, this you'll be having 2 days holidays. You are having a 2 days holidays tomorrow and a day after tomorrow. These 2 days plan nicely, and you are having other classes. Let the classes, you listen the classes, but remaining time you keep your phone in another room. When you are studying, study without mobile phone with you, then 50% you get a success. Because many distraction, when you open a phone, many distraction, whatever it is, you put a time. Yes, we night 8 to 9 I watch phone, or 6 to 7 I watch phone, or afternoon 1 to 2 I relax, or 10 to 12 I relax, 1 or 2 hours, whatever time you decide before itself. When your mind says see WhatsApp or see Facebook or see this one, then immediately, yes, 10 to 12 I have a time, no, that time only I see. I'll give all replies, or I tell my friends, I talk to my friends, or I talk to my family members. Whatever you want to do, that 2 hours you allocate, and you just do your works. But remaining time, put your 100% focus. For what? If you want to get a success, ma'am. No, ma'am. I want to become a storyteller. Then no, you can tell anything. Simply people will listen you, but they won't believe you. If you tell some problem, now I'm having this problem, that problem, they listen to you. They listen to you, but inside they feel, this girl like that only. Last year also she told some reason, and this year also she's telling some reason. They don't give respect to you. If you want to get a highest respect, highest effort. Your respect is effort proportional to respect we get. And I'm not telling you to get some respect to do the work. No, don't do the work for anyone. Do work for yourself. Do work for having a beautiful career. Only for yourself you do. To have a first we should be good, right? Then only we can do something good for others. So first we should be good, our family, then society, right? I hope all my students, tomorrow and today, you follow one small technique. I'll tell you, if it is possible, if you like it, 45 minutes class and 15 minutes a break. 45 minutes a class and 15 minutes break. What you have to do is, if you have any alarm or a hand watch with you, not a phone, Don't put alarm at all in a phone so that you see your phone every time. You keep any small watch like this, then you put alarm for 45 minutes. Then what happens, if you put then it shows, can you hear? 45 minutes it shows that. Then you take a break, then that time you take a break and go for a walk nicely, or you refresh your mind. If you want to talk to your family members, talk. If I am like this, what I do, I give any work or any reply to you. Almost I'll be in a WhatsApp fully, so I'll give something, you do that time. But again after 45, again 15 minutes, you come back and you start reading, and you split your work into 45, 45, 45, and you see that there will be a lots of difference in you. Suppose you want to study today physics, 3 hours you want to study physics, then what you have to do, 45 minutes you break to 20 pages. You want to study textbook, 20 pages, you break the 20 pages into, for example, 20 by 5, 4 pages, 4 pages, 4 pages, like that, 5 sessions. Then that 4 pages you put 45 minutes target, then you study in that 45 minutes only. In that time, don't deviate your mind. Okay, keep smiling, keep shining, follow this. Don't simply listen and leave. All know these techniques and all, but very few will follow. We know many things. Knowing is different, following is different. What is that? Knowing is different, following is different. So I hope all my students, not only they know, they follow. Nice. No, my students, not only they know, they follow today's status. Ready? Okay. One second. Smile, all of you. This is for status today. What is the status? What I told just now. My students, not only they know, they follow. Correct. Ready? 1, 2, 3, start. Hey. Very good. Once again, second page I'll go. Many they left. Few only we are. Smile, smile, smile. Once again. Nice. Once again. He. No. Ha ha ha. No. Hey, give heart. You're giving. No, give. Yes, if you like it, you give. Otherwise, no need. If you like, you can give your heart. Yay. Wow, today 100% hearts. Ha! No. This is a real happiness. Wow. Life is so beautiful. Thank you so much, all of you. Keep smiling, keep shining. See you on Tuesday's class. Bye bye. Bye. Say bye one time. Sunday, Monday, missing you. Bye. Bye. That to know batch 3 also. This is only class. Bye.